This is another episode of Recruitment Entrepreneurs by Recruit CRM, and we're super lucky to have Maxime with us. Maxime is from Paris, and he runs a recruitment company focused on the tech sector in Paris. It's a new firm that has just started, I think, a couple years ago, but Max will tell us more about this. So Max, it's over to you. Can you just give us like an introduction of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you a lot for having me. It's an honor. Yeah, so for a quick, my story in a nutshell, I was born in Lyon, which is a town in France, also well known as the capital of gastronomy. I don't know if you know it.
Okay, cool.
I had a pretty classic background with international business school. I went to an international business school and quickly went to Paris to kickstart my professional career. I've done 4 years as a product manager in an app development agency. I had the chance to work with huge clients like broadcasters such as beIN Sports, Canal+, or brands like ESPN, Babolat, etc.
Cool.
And I've met my first boss, who was a serial entrepreneur, and he shared with me this passion of entrepreneurship. Okay. So 4 years later, I quit my job and started my first startup in the travel industry.
And how old were you at this point?
23.
Okay, so you were 23. So you started working at 19.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you were 23 and you started your first travel startup. And how did that go?
Yeah, basically working in an agency is very tiring.
Yeah.
Because you work a lot for a lot of brand and not for your own brand, basically. And I told myself, I remember like it was 3 years after I started. I told myself, all right, in 1 year from now, either I go to work for a huge brand, or I go launch my own startup. And I had a lot of small ideas logged in my iPhone, and one of them maybe was better than the others. The idea was to build an inspiration tool that helps you find all the destinations in one time, okay. Depending on your travel dates and budgets.
Got it.
And so.
And how did the startup go? Like, how did you, when you quit your job, did you have any money in the bank? Like, did you just wing it? Like, how was the real finances and all of that work out?
It's a good question. In France, we have the chance to have governmental helps. Okay. When you are not working. Basically, when you work, you are I don't know even to say in English. You collecting money for the time when you are unemployed. And basically, I run this startup with these funds, so it lasts 18 months.
Got it.
And then also I had a loan from bank and also small investors from the family.
Okay, cool.
That helped me kickstart the project. But the chance I had, it was not research and development project, very tech. So I didn't need that much money to start. Got it. And quickly the money went in with clients and commission and so on. But as a lot of startup, I had to pivot to B2B to get more money because I was in B2B market. And I had a lot of competitors such as Booking, Skyscanner, and else.
The traditional.
So basically, 18 months later, we pivoted towards B2B to build white label for airports. Okay. And we had a chance to sign Paris airports, Marseille, Lyon. And in the meantime, 2 years after we launched, we had a discussion to be acquired by a Dutch company.
Oh, that's amazing. Are
Yeah.
you allowed to disclose which Dutch company?
Sorry.
Are you allowed to disclose which Dutch company it was?
Yeah, I think the former boss was an acquaintance for my whole co-founder.
Okay.
He was looking at the project from one eye from the distance, and yeah, it happened 2 years later. The start of Grappy, what was my first startup, we got acquired by this Dutch company, which was building a prediction tool that helps you know if the price of the plane ticket will go down or up in the next few days.
And Max, what was this first acquisition like? Was it like a big enough acquisition that you were set for life, or was it just enough to pay back the loan and the investors, or was it somewhere?
I don't have a yacht yet.
Yeah, you don't have a yacht yet, but you're comfortable. So it wasn't. No one lost money in that acquisition.
No, it was more, to be honest, an acquisition with equity.
Got it.
With a small amount of cash, but it was not at all life changing.
So you would say that it was like a soft landing instead of like, you didn't make like millions of euros or dollars, but
yeah,
it was not a failure, right? It was
for us, it was a success because we entered into a new world and new opportunities, a new challenge with bigger startup with more funds and money to get some project achieved.
At the time of the acquisition, how old were you?
25. We have to dig into the end of my first startup. So it lasts 18 months after the acquisition.
Okay.
And then I took over a CMO position in a last mile delivery startup in Paris. Very challenging in marketing and operation, but I knew that it won't last forever. And as you might know, once you have started your first startup and you are an entrepreneur,
hard
I think
to go back.
Yeah.
But and the last mile delivery startup, was this during the 2013 to 15 or 2013 to 16 boom, where every startup in Europe was doing last mile delivery or food delivery or something like
that? Yeah,
everyone was. Yeah,
it was very challenging, and I love to say that my first startup was driven by the idea and the concept.
Yeah.
And this second startup is more driven by sense and reason, grow a business and to be profitable.
So you're more practical now. You've grown up.
Yeah.
Right. And when you say second startup, you're talking specifically about Avisio.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we still haven't gotten to the point. Why did you decide to do recruitment? Like, how of all the businesses you could do with the skills you had acquired, why recruitment?
It's a good question. I think that I know that recruitment was a huge market.
Okay.
I experienced the pains of recruitment. I wanted to do a service app or a service. And I met with my co-founder, Henri, which is my co-founder today. And I think that it's the combination of those four elements. That's,
and Max, to go back, is your co-founder, is Henri a recruitment consultant? Did he do recruitment before, or is he as well?
We didn't have any experience in the recruitment market. And I think it's in the DNA of Avisio, because I think that the best recruiters are businessmen and or sales, because we are there, know the every aspect of the jobs they are recruiting for, and are not stuck in the theory of recruitment
of the job description and just reading the skill set and then calling people for it. And this is a very interesting question that I love asking on these interviews. When you started Avisio, did you start with last time, you started with a bunch of bank loans and some angel investors? How did you start it this time? Did you start with a certain amount of savings that you said, these are the savings that you and Andre put in, and this is going to last you 10 months or a year or 2 years? How did you plan it?
Yeah, I had the chance to start the same way because I worked it 2 years before. So I have accumulated money from
the job
government that helped me last 18 months without getting paid.
Got it.
That's a huge help in France. I can admit that. Yeah, and in 18 months later, we are proud to say that with my co-founder, we are going to pay ourselves.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's a huge step as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Even if we are paying, we have a team of 10 people.
Yeah.
So basically, we are the last one to get paid.
Yeah, and to go even at Recruit CRM, I and my co-founder who happens to be my dad, we only started getting paid from the company, I think 20 months in. Like, yeah. 20 months after launching the product, so about 2.5 years after
the same thing.
Launching. So it does take a while, but it's exciting once it starts rolling and it becomes real. It's brilliant. And so another question, right? So in this startup, how's it set up? Are you and Andre the core owners, or like do you have investors that own a part of your company? How's all of that set up?
We are two co-founders from the start. We are self-founded. 4 months, 6 months after we started the company, we almost raised funds with a pre-seed series of 300K. However,
and this is very interesting, Max, because very few people in recruitment are able to raise the traditional technology startup kind of investment rounds. So I would love for you to go deep into how you went about finding the investors, how you structured them, and why you didn't take the money or did take the money for other entrepreneurs in Europe or North America.
To get the whole story, we started Avisio with an assessment series, which is basically allowing clients to get their candidates assessed by an expert outside the company. So to do that, we had to build a managers network, which today is it's compounded with more than 400 managers.
Oh wow! Okay.
And those managers are C-level and head of and manager of French tech startups in France. And the chance we have that a lot of them are investors and entrepreneurs. So when it comes to raise fund, basically we took our phone and pitched the startup to the.
You just called people in your network, basically.
Yeah, like 100 or 150 managers.
And how did you? And this is again unique in recruitment, but how did you figure out a valuation for a 6-month-old recruitment company with 2 people in it?
Basically, we based the valuation on the future service we were about to launch, because as I said, we had the assessment service, but the need for money was needed for our pivots or switch of focus. When we launched the executive search service, we need money to kickstart the service, to recruit, to take real offices, etc. However, we secured this 300K pre-seed money. However, we did not take it.
Oh, today you still own the entire company?
No, we haven't signed the pre-seed money, so we didn't take that money.
Got it. So today, as of today, like in 2020, November, Avisio is fully owned by Maxime and your co-founder, Andre.
Yeah.
Perfect. And now going into the executive search part, because that's probably what the audience that's for this podcast cares about, right? How to build a successful recruitment business. One, did you start at the top of the market and retain the executive search, or did you start with doing contingency projects?
No, from the beginning, we focused on the A players profile.
Okay.
I think it's because of the concepts our recruitment firm, because it's a bit different from the other actors. Just in a nutshell, Avisio is a premium C-level referral network.
Okay.
Outsmart executive search. So the difference is that we do not do direct approach towards talents, because all of them are referred by someone of the network we have built.
So is it accurate to say that instead of a traditional headhunting process where you make a long list and you go out and you find candidates, in your process, if you have a great opportunity, you distribute that opportunity within your network of, you said 400 managers, which is rapidly growing, and then the managers find you candidates? If the candidates get placed, then you obviously make money, and do you pay the manager a cut? Is that how it works?
Yeah. It's a referral program, because today, as we focused on A profile, we know that A profiles are over solicited. Every day they get solicitation from recruiters, brands, etc., companies, and they basically don't answer any of them. So
is it right to assume that you're looking at the A players who will only look at an opportunity if a trusted partner or a colleague or boss tells them about an opportunity?
It's a bit of both.
Okay, and Max, how do the economics work? So if I was one of your partners and I referred a great candidate to you and you placed them, would I get half the fee, one quarter of the fee?
You get 10% out of our commission.
Got it. And is your commission the standard success fee where you charge 20%?
Okay. Yeah. As we do not do direct approach, we do not have consultants to pay. So we can have more flexible sales conditions, as we do not have exclusivity. We don't have retainer. We getting paid at success.
Got it.
And all of this element allowed us to get 50 placements in a year.
Got it. And how long did you take from the time you launched this network to the time you made your first placement?
8 months.
Okay, so it took 8 months for you to make your first placement from the time you started. And how are the payment terms in France? Do companies pay within 1 month of the placement, or 3 months, or?
Yeah, I think that the average is 1 month.
1 month. So say 9 months to the first euro or dollar of revenue.
Yeah, it's not exactly true, because at the beginning we had this assessment service that made money. It was like we made 50K euro the first year with the assessments.
Got it.
We launched the executive search in September, and we've done the first placements in December.
Okay, so it's much better. It's not 9 months then. It's
yeah, 9 months from the beginning, but 2 months after we launched it.
Perfect. And so today, if you're willing to share this, how many placements have you guys made?
50.
So you made 50 placements over 12 months or 14 months? Okay, exactly. That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and how is the team scaled since you started out? So
today we are 12. It's 9 people in Paris and 3 people in Nantes, which is another city in France.
Got it.
Because in the Paris office, we are handling all the Paris clients, and from Nantes they are dealing with all of the rest of France.
Got it. And so you have gone from 2 to 12 people in this 1 year, and you've done that without any outside funding, right? You've financed this from the placements you guys are making.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, and another question, because you have such a unique model relative to a normal executive search firm. If you don't have consultants, what do these other 10 other people do? Like, what is their job?
We call them sales and talent manager, because their role is to welcome the talents we get referred, try to know what they want to do, what they don't want to do, the challenge, etc. And their role is to match them with the need of our clients. And basically, we have a club of 100 clients feeding us with a lot of jobs to make us able to cover every job in the company. So I think that we have 8 players in front of us. We are able to show him or present him 1, 2, or 3 interesting jobs for him.
Brilliant. And so essentially they're like consultants, but they're not doing any of the research. They're literally given spoon-fed candidates from your network, which are warm leads, and then they just have to link them to the right opportunity inflows. And so because it is set up this way, and it'll be of interest to the audience, Max, have you, are all of these, what are they called? Are they called matchers, consultants? What do you call these guys?
We call them sales and talent manager.
Sales and talent managers. So do these sales and talent managers get a salary, or are they commission only?
No, they get a regular salary and bonuses depending of the placement.
Got it.
Because, they get bonus if they own the account, the client.
Got it.
And or if they own the talent.
Got it. So they get a base salary, and then they're expected to like make more money by actually doing their job and making
exactly, yeah.
And is the target for them to make, say, €1 in commission for every €1 in salary? Is that the target for good performance? How do you?
The target is to do 2 placements a month per talent manager.
Got it. Which would, I'm guessing it would be probably 12,000-15,000 euros a placement, right? More or less, roughly. You don't have to give exact numbers, right?
Yeah, the average basket of the placement is between 13 and 15 euros.
15,000 euros, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully. And so as we go towards the close of this, Max, a few quick questions. So what is one thing that you expected, that you thought would happen when you started in the recruitment part of the business that didn't really happen?
You're gonna love it, but I thought that we were be able to meet the Recruit CRM team in Paris.
Yes. Okay. we will one day come to Paris and meet you. I will make that a personal point. But in all seriousness, right? Like on my end to share, like when I started Recruit CRM, I thought our revenue chart would be pretty predictable, and it went more like it was flat for like the first year, and then it just went vertical upwards. So that's something that I didn't expect. But on your end, what was something that you thought would happen but didn't happen? And also the other way around, right? Something that you didn't expect but you were pleasantly surprised by.
I think the main thing that I did expect was I thought that we were about to make a SaaS service tech recruitment firm with the assessment. You're gonna order an assessment and it will go through all the process. And we had to pivot to get more traditional executive search firm.
Got it. So you thought you'd be more closer to a tech company versus a more services type model, but you ended up being more service oriented to drive revenue faster.
Yeah.
And so looping back into that question, what are your plans for the future? Like, how do you, like over the next 2 or 3 years, do you want to make it less of a service and more tech enabled?
Yeah.
Also, what are your plans for scaling in terms of like, how do you plan to increase headcount? What are your goals for 2021 and beyond?
The goals for next year is to triple the revenue.
Okay.
By only doubling the team.
Got it. Good.
To do that, one of our main focus is to create products to help our talent ecosystem, client and network ecosystem to be more efficient and take us less time to handle it.
Got it. And now again, going back into your point, because you use technology, what is the average time to hire for you guys? From the time you get like an opening to you making a placement, is it in the weeks? Is it in the months or days?
Sorry, the line broke. The time required is very depends a lot of the clients, and they're willing to go fast. But I think in average, it's between 3 weeks to 1.5 months.
Oh, wow. So you're saying if someone gives you an opening today, in 4 weeks, normally on an average, they'll have a candidate. Like,
yeah, the huge advantage with Avisio is that we have an amazing talent pool already built. So as soon as we have a client asking us for a job to fill in, we can take a look in the talent pool with your amazing tool, and it's very simple to
thanks for the plug.
to identify the right candidates if we have one.
Got it. And so because you have a high quality talent pool, you're able to find them quickly, send them to the client, and you know they won't be rejected because you only work with A players.
Exactly.
Right. And how do you measure an A player? Right. Like if someone comes to you, if I come to you and I'm like, hey Max, I want a job. Do you like do an assessment that says, okay, you're an A player, you're allowed to be part of our network? Or if someone refers a candidate, how do you decide they're A player or not?
As a manager or as a client?
And no, as a manager, as someone in your network.
It's more the job of Edith in Avisio, who is the boss of our network and responsible of a partnership. Basically, we do not recruit manager. Yeah. It's only with referral. For example, we get the VP marketing of booking in the network, and we're gonna ask him, do you know 3 people that could be in our network? Okay, put them in line, and we're gonna start a conversation and try to convince them.
And like, do you ever throw people out of your network because they don't meet the standards, or 1 or 2 clients tell you that they're not good and you just remove them from your network? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, it does not happen a lot because we try to qualify and filter before it happens. But yeah, I think it happens 2 or 3 times. So it's very.
It's rare. It's rare.
Very rare. Yeah.
And in that case, you take them out. Perfect. So as we come towards a close, some personal questions. So Max, where are you in your life? Are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have kids?
Yeah, I've been married from 1.5 years.
Okay, cool.
And I had the chance to welcome my first baby girl called Josephine. 3 months back.
Awesome.
So maybe I'm a bit tired because the nights are not smooth.
I bet. I bet they're hard. And so you got married 1.5 years ago. You have a baby girl, Josephine, who was born 3 months ago.
Exactly.
And then if you had to give advice to your 20-year-old self who had just started working at 19, what would that advice be?
I think don't think that your ideas are meant to be secret. Share it with all the people you can. Try to identify a mentor among your friends or a network, and try to get the best and the more from him. And do not hesitate to accept help from others. Share your ideas, discuss, and you get feedbacks to help you decide or not to go and jump in your challenge.
And that's a killer finish, because what Max is basically saying is ideas are worthless. It's all about the execution, and you have the right idea with smart people, so don't hide your ideas, talk to them, talk about your ideas with people and execute. Max,
because if you get decided, you can be sure that at least 100 people are the same. And the difference will be the execution and the timing of your startup.
That's brilliant, Max. I hope that people watching this show, especially people watching it in France, are inspired by this, and they start their own recruitment firms soon and reach out to you for advice. How can people find you?
They can find me in LinkedIn, in Google, not Instagram.
Not Instagram. And so it's your website is aviz.io, right?
Yeah, and we launched avisio.fr.
Avisio.fr. And that's how you find Max and his team.
Yeah,
then.
you can write me an email at maxime.avisio.fr. I will be very pleased to answer you and discuss your challenge.
This is awesome, Max. Thanks a bunch for this. I really appreciate this.